Coming up on Week 6 of football tonight, Nate Doherty's Lafayette squad back in conference play. Can the Fighting Irish take down Chillicothe? Plus, the 8th-ranked team in Class 2, the Mid-Buchanan Dragons, trying to go 6-0 on the season. Highlights from their showdown with Lathrop, and it's a battle of two of the top 4 teams in 8-man football. Number 2, Nottoway Valley, visiting number 4, Rockport. Highlights from these games and much more coming up next on Football Tonight.
The legacy of Football Tonight and what made that show and still makes that show unique to this day. You go to 15 to 18 games in 15 to 18 communities.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Football Tonight. We got an exciting show for you.
We were innovators, and I'm glad we're still running with the ball some 35 years later. It's very cool.
Football Tonight's a really special part of the fall for me just because I grew up in Union Star and you get home on a Friday night and you turn it on.
Well, one of the great things that high school football brings out are the rivalries. Towns get behind their teams, schools trading wins each season.
This show, really at this level in the small market television, set the tone.
KU2, that's our hometown station!
Football Tonight starts now.
Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster.
And with that, welcome into Football Time. Chris Roush, that's Brett Kennedy. A lot to get to tonight. Week 6 in Missouri, Week 5 over in Kansas.
Woo, boy, we had some good games this evening. I can't believe it's Week 6. Moving on quite fast in this season.
Which means we're only a few weeks away from districts, which some games tonight may feature some future district opponents. So we start things off right here in town with a conference bout that could also be a Class 3 District 8 matchup down the road on the north side. Nate Doherty's team hosting the Hornets tonight at Chillicothe. Chillicothe at 14-8 at the half. Opening kick of the second half. Owen Hankins with a great return following his blockers to get Lafayette set up with great field position, down just 6. On offense now, Lafayette working out of the gun. Handoff goes to Elias Chapin. Good vision to find the empty running lanes and gets the Irish deeper into Hornets territory. Drive stalls after a penalty and a sack, so Chillicothe's turn. Logan Morrell finds a crease and angles toward the opposite side of the field, gets the first down and moves the chains. Later in the drive, Henry Hergen, good tough running down inside the 10-yard line. Then Chillicothe on 4th down, trying to extend the lead. You know, Scott Stapp was 6 feet from the edge, and he was thinking it's not that far. But 6 inches in football, a difference maker. The Irish stand tall on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Lafayette gets the ball back, but the Hornets able to outlast Lafayette tonight. They win this one by a final score of 20-14.
The Benton Cardinals on the road up in Maryville for the Spoof Hounds homecoming this evening. Spoof Hounds first drive of the game, moving the ball a bit with this nice catch on the sideline from Cole Zarbano. A few plays later, though, this Matthew Walter pass is tipped up in the air. That's going to be picked off by Benton's Cy Polly. A few plays later, Cardinals return the favor with this interception by Cole Zarbano, and he weaves his way across the field to return this one all the way for a pick 6 for the Maryville Spoof Hounds. The Cardinals, though, moving the ball with this quick screen to Reese Searcy, and he converts this 3rd and long into a first down. Spoof Hounds would then force a Benton punt to get the ball back with this nifty end-around run from Brody Shepard for a huge gain up the middle for Maryville. A few plays later, it's Gavin McAtee plunging in for another Spoof Hounds touchdown. Cardinals again, success moving the ball, but on this 4th and goal, Boston Cook can't escape. And Spoof Hounds victorious on homecoming night, 49-7.
Savannah Savages taking on Cameron tonight at home. First quarter, first Savages drive. Aiden Knechtenhofer keeps it and follows his blocks to Junior with an angry run and won't go down. Picks up the first down and more. Later in the drive, Knechtenhofer again follows his blocks right through the hole. He's in for the first points of the game. PAT makes it 7-0 Savannah. Later in the first, Cameron trying to slow down the Savages. Jaden Martinez with the carry. The Dragons swarming for minimal gain on the play, but a few plays later, connecting offer. Patient running, breaks a few arm tackles, dives in for 6 more. It's 14-0 early. QB1 not done in the first quarter. Another angry run. Check this one out. Burst through the hole, then he drags some defenders into the end zone. 3 first quarter touchdowns for the quarterback. It's 21-0 after 1. Savannah wins this one 62-7. They are 4-2. They have only allowed a combined 27 points in 6 games this season. All right, tough night for Central down at Oak Park. It was 17-13 Oak Park at the half. They took over in the second half, downing Central 52-13.
Still ahead on football tonight, can the Troy Trojans make it a 3-game winning streak? Highlights from their showdown with Donovan West later on in the show.
And coming up next, can the Meade Buchanan Dragons move to 6-0 on the season? The Lathrop Mules trying to snap the winning streak. Highlights after the break on Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Welcome back to Football Tonight. The Meade Buchanan Dragons off to a 5-0 start and ranked 8th in Class 2. But there's still plenty of season left to play, and that means more KCI games for Meade Buchanan. Off we go to Lathrop High School. We're 5-0 Mid-Buck taking on the Lathrop Mules tonight. First quarter, Dragons flying down the field into Mule territory. Quarterback Rafe Smith out of the gun, curves around the black and yellow for the first touchdown of the game. 7-0 after the point after. Dragons with an early lead. Mules got to be stubborn to hold this mean green team back. Second quarter, still 7-0. Mules get a handful of first downs trying to get into the end zone. But here we go. Pass is broken up at the goal line. Home team doesn't have a lot of luck in this one. Meade Buchanan, good defense. They remain undefeated. They go on to win this one by a final score of 19-6. Staying in the KCI, Lawson Cardinals take on the West Platte Blue Jays. Cardinals get the first win of the season, 34-15. North Platte traveling to undefeated South Shelby. South Shelby winning 38-0.
Going to Gower between East Buchanan and Hamilton. Right after halftime, the Hornets up on the Bulldogs 7-0. Close one throughout. Third quarter, Big Blue trying to get on the board. Ball gets hiked to Junior Ben Road. Gets caught up by a bunch of Hornets near the own sideline there. East Buck not trying to get shut out at home. They make their way down the field later in the drive. Phoenix Baugh hands it off to the senior running back Aiden Smith, who runs it all the way in to score to tie the game at 7 apiece after the PAT. Even Bulldogs got to be quick as a cat sometimes this evening. The Kitty! Home team gets the ball back, trying to score another one. Aiden Smith trying to throw a pass, but it's picked off. Aiden Hawkins makes the interception, but the Bulldogs late field goal to win it 10-7 to get another victory. They are 5-1 on the season. In the Grand River Conference, South Harrison beats Maysville 46-7 at home. Bulldogs are 6-0. Wolverines are 0-6. Putnam County edges Polo 22-20. And in more GRC play, the Trenton Bulldogs traveling to Milan. Milan wins a close one, 28-27. And over in Gallatin, well, the Bulldogs, not a good night for them. They fall to Brookfield, big time shutout, 52-0 at home.
Well, plenty more to come on Football Tonight, including the Riverside Cyclones hosting Horton tonight. We'll bring those highlights to you in just a little bit.
And it's a top 4 showdown in 8-man football. Will it be Nottoway Valley or Rockport standing tall tonight? Highlights coming up on Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall
Get your popcorn ready for this one. Two of the best 8-man football teams in the state squared off this evening as 5-0 Rockport hosted 5-0 Nottoway Valley. Something had to give. Let's dive right into it. Great athletes on both sides, both teams fired up and ready to roll in this one. On Rockport's first drive, senior quarterback Corbin Jacob hits Jaden Geib for a big Blue Jays first down to move the chains. Later in the drive, Jacob looks like he's going to run. Watch this, the last minute, chucks it over to the sophomore Jack Meyerkorth, and he takes it in for a touchdown. Two-pointer no good, 6-0 Blue Jays. Student section fired up, wearing pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. On Nottoway Valley's first drive, sophomore Gabe Gebbards forces a fumble, and Rockport's Ryder Heron, the junior, recovers it for the Blue Jays. But hold the fireworks, Rockport, because on their ensuing drive, Jacob throws deep, and he is going to be picked off by Nottoway Valley junior Dakota Patterson. Turnover battle early. The Thunder would then try to go deep themselves. Senior Lane Larrabee hucks it deep, and freshman Jax Cowden comes down with it. Big play for Nottoway Valley. Head coach Alan Calfee has a lot of weapons to choose from on this Nottoway Valley offense. One of them's this guy, junior Cooper Snodderly, takes the direct snap, cuts right, he gets into the end zone. 8-6, Nottoway Valley up after the two-pointer. Then on their next drive, almost the same play. Snodderly takes it in for his second score of the night, but Rockport comes back to win in the second half, 66-42. The Blue Jays, they're 6-0 on the season. Nottoway Valley's first loss of the year.
Other 275 games, Mountain City beating DeKalb on the road 50-28. East Atchison getting a win over the Wild Cards tonight 48-0. Non-conference 8-man football, Bishop of Long going down to Kansas to take on KC East. Eagles winning 64-24. Plattsburgh falls to new heights in this one 60-34. But again, LeBlanc getting a victory 64-24.
And moving on, we head to Oregon for a battle of two 4-1 teams, South Holt hosting Platte Valley. The big story was that man right there. Cole Metzger sat for the season after injuring his kneecap last week, so senior Hayes Weller took his place at quarterback this evening. Knights trying the ground attack with Tate Prusman there, and then the pitch out to Cameron Biondo, the sophomore, for a first down, but Platte Valley was just too much tonight, winning just 2 quarters of play, 60-12 to improve to 5-1 on the season. South Holt still looking for answers without Cole Metzger.
When we come back here on Football Tonight, we head west on US 36 because the Troy Trojans paying Doniphan West a visit tonight.
And in 8-man football, can Worth County come away with another win? The Tigers taking on Stanberry. Highlights tonight and next on Football Tonight.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Welcome back to Football Tonight. Chris Roush, Brett Kennedy with you. We'll continue through 8-man football. We've had the 275 conference, now the Grand River Conference. Some really good teams in the 275, but also the GRC as well.
Yeah, of course. And then you want to talk about Worth County. I mean,
Yep.
they made it to the state championship game last year. Off to a little bit of a rougher start this time around, but they had a good matchup on the road against a good Stanberry team this evening.
And we'll go on up to Stanberry now. It's Worth County and Stanberry. Here we go. GRC Grand River Conference. Starting things off, Tristan Williams takes the handoff for a short gain. Next play for the Bulldogs. Trying to move the football. Drew Parman trying to get something going, but it gets met by linebacker Landon Wilmus, who brings the blitz untouched, gets the sack. After the sack, Bulldogs force the punt, and watch Wilmus take the punt to his right. He's off to the races. Those punt returners aren't deadly either. Worth County on the board early down the sidelines with the score. Stanberry head coach Shane Hilton trying to rally his team together tonight in this one against the Tigers. These two teams, no strangers to one another either, but like the age-old saying, sometimes things go from bad to worse. Stanberry, nobody fields the kickoff. Lucas Frisch recovers the kickoff. Rest marking down at the 1. When you're that close, punch it in. Worth County goes on to win this one 58-0 over Stanberry. Our other games tonight, Grand River Conference, Albany beating Princeton 96-46. The Warriors now 6-0 on the season. St. Joe Christian beating Pattonsburg tonight. Lions win 70-38.
Moving on to King City and North Andrew getting some halftime action as the band warms up. King City already up 20-16 as they look to keep the lead in the second half. Cardinals starting with the ball. Braxton Linville has some miscommunication. He is sacked there. North Andrew trying to make up the ground. Linville finds Levi McAfee down the field there. A couple of plays later, Cardinals knocking on the door. Linville, the read option, keeps it himself, trucks a defender in for the touchdown. King City head coach Micah Breckenridge trying to make sure his team puts the game away. Wildcats getting their drive going. Landon Carlson, the freshman, keeps it himself. Couple missed tackles, first down to keep the drive alive and going. King City would put this game away as Carlson finds Ryder Sample wide open for the touchdown. Wildcats hold on to win 36-30. They have now won 4 straight games in this one. Other 8-man games, Southwest Livingston taking on Schuyler County. Schuyler County wins 70-22, and Keatsville traveling to Bramer. No score yet there out of Bramer.
All right, over in Kansas, Donovan West hosting Troy over in Denton. Trojans marching down the field. Gannon Bowen shotgun dumps a screen to Colt Jensen. He avoids multiple defenders, goes all the way for the score. First touchdown of the game, point after good 7-0. Mustangs forced to punt. Trojans in the red zone. Bo in the gun again, going out to his left, has the option there, but he keeps and gets into the end zone. 14-0 Troy. Mustangs needing to get something going here. Colton Peterson under center, but it's fumble. Troy recovers. That turnover leads to another Trojan score. Bo passes to Jackson Harbin, fights his way into the end zone. Trojans up 21-0. They go on to win this one 54-13. All right, Mar Hill taking on Centralia. Centralia getting a 52-0 win. Atchison beating KC Washington 55-6.
Now over to Riverside, the Cyclones hosting the Horton Chargers. Start of the second half, Cyclones up 7-0. Chargers kick off, but the Cyclones can't recover, and the Chargers recover. There, Tylen Harper gets the handoff. He powers through, dragging 5 defenders. Not going down, picks up the first down and more. A few plays later, quarterback in shotgun gets the snap, but it's dropped. Cyclones recover the fumble. Beckham Griffin in the shotgun, gets the snap, takes the handoff, and he finds a hole. He's got room to run down the sideline. Here comes number 15. Big run from him the following play. Griffin, the junior, looking deep downfield. He's got Tyzel Harrington wide open for a touchdown. Cyclones up 14-0. Riverside goes on to win in a shutout at home, 27-0. And don't go anywhere. We will announce our Anderson Ford Play of the Week. Stay tuned. You're watching Football Tonight right here on KQ2.
Coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it
In clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on.
Well, you voted all week long. Your Anderson Auto Play of the Week. Your winner for Week 5, Mid-Buchanan Xander Brown grabs an interception off a deflection. The Dragons win against Lawson. Remember, you vote every single week, Monday to Friday. Voting starts Monday afternoon. Friday afternoon it ends. But you go to KQ2.com, go to the contest tab, go to Play of the Week. You have 3 options every single week to vote for your chance to have your favorite be named our Play of the Week. And Brett, speaking of Mid-Buchanan, they got a win tonight. Now they're 6-0. They're ranked 8th in Class 2. They're looking really good. East Buchanan's 5-1. They're sitting in the KCI. Those 2 teams' collision course is coming down pretty quickly.
That's going to be a fun matchup here in a couple weeks. Mid-Buchanan kind of struggled a little bit, at least to start against Lathrop. It was only 7-0 for the longest time, so we'll see if they pick it up. But Aaron Fritz and Coach Ritter, they're great coaches, and it's going to be awesome. And that possibly game of the week when those 2 teams play here very soon. 2 very strong ball clubs.
Now you have those in the KCI. You have Savannah in the MEC, Maryville in the MEC getting victories. Nice, same as Chillicothe. But Savannah, they've allowed 27 points in 6 games this season. They have 2 losses, but they've only lost by 1 point and 2 points respectively. They're 4-2. They're playing really good football right now too.
Their defense is insane, and it's crazy that they're doing this and they keep switching quarterbacks around. And it's nice to have that guy back right there who started the year with an injury. Aiden Knechtenhofer, just a truck. I mean, he's so hard to bring down. Just a big, massive kid. And Savannah, that's going to be exciting when they play Maryville in a couple weeks as well. That's going to be one to watch, as is every year when that's a great rivalry.
And the big thing for Connect and Offer, too, you saw it, he didn't have anything taped up on his hands.
Nope.
And, he battled some injuries early in the year, so he's back, he's healthy. Maryville's defense, Savannah's defense, two really good defenses. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out here in a few weeks. But you also have 8-man football. Rockport, that game was tight, but Rockport got a few turnovers late in that game to distance themselves to go to 6-0 in the season.
Yeah, I was at that game tonight, and it was awesome to see both of those teams might meet again in the playoffs, and that's going to be crazy if they do. But they're just two really well-coached teams, and Rockport's got some athletes. That Jack Meyerkorth is a really good receiver. Their quarterback, Jacob, he can really play, and they've just got some really talented guys on the front side of the ball in that one. I mean, Rockport's got their really big guy up front, Ryder Herring, number 99. Reminds me of J.J. Watt out there running all over the place. Anthony and I have talked about him. Anthony says he looks like J.J. Watt. But again, Rockport looks dangerous right now. They really do.
Yeah, and usually it's GRC we talk a lot about, but that's a 275 playing really good football. The Kansas side of things, it's next week. Troy and Riverside are going to meet next week. Troy's won 3 straight. Riverside's on a roll too. That's going to be a fun one next week on the Kansas side because those two teams playing really good football. They're in week number 5 of the Kansas side of things.
And how about Atchison? They're starting to pick things up after a slow start to the season as well. So the Kansas schools, they're starting to turn things around here. And then again, Riverside, Troy, that's going to be fun next week.
We're getting closer and closer to the postseason. It's week 7 next week on the Missouri side, week 6 on the Kansas side of things. That will do it for us for this week. We'll be back next Friday night, 10:35, for week 7's edition of Football Tonight. We'll see you then.
Bet I'm coming in clutch, no hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on